So I think over the weekend, Friday through Sunday, there was like a massive news reports of like what is the DC Studios new direction, new-ish direction. So I'm just gonna go in order based on what I read. So just keep that in mind. The first announcement that I have is that they announced a new animated series, My Adventures with Green Lantern, and it follows the high school student Jessica Cruz, who has her life upended when a Green Lantern power ring falls from the skies and chooses Cruz to be its champion.
If you're a DC fan, you're like, huh? Wait, that's not her story.
No. So the creator of the show said that yes, this is like canon with My Adventures with Superman. So it is. So yeah, the show does take place in that time and all this stuff. So my big thing, why do you need to do that with Jessica Cruz? Like turn her into a high school girl and like take out the fact that she's like, I mean, she's in war, I guess, but like basically she was on like a mission and all of her friends died like in front of her like brutally, and it was like kind of under her direction as well. Causes a massive amount of anxiety, PTSD, and all that stuff. And then she was granted the power of the power ring, and which she's always like wondering why did it come to her. Now, obviously, like the ring chooses the person essentially, even if they don't believe in themselves or anything like that. But that's kind of like what made Jessica Cruz like such an important lantern for a while, is because she has like a thing that's like not necessarily common among the other lanterns, like at least the human lanterns that we have. Like, yes, I understand that. I mean, they turned a lot of these characters into war vets and all that stuff, some of which I don't like at all. But yeah, I understand that some of them fight in wars and they have PTSD as well. But like Jessica Cruz, like the difference was like she witnessed like murders of her friends, along with her crippling anxiety, along with the fact that she has like agoraphobia and all that stuff. So yeah, just like turning her into a high school girl and then the ring just falls on her because like, you're worthy to be my champion is just taking out so much of the character of what made her who she was. At that point, like, why did you choose Jessica Cruz? Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, it's too dark because like I haven't seen My Adventures with Superman. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I have.
So one of the main arguments that people say about the show in particular is like, oh, well, it's made for kids, so why would you expect friends to be murdered in a show like that? Why do you expect PTSD, anxiety, things like that? Anxiety could happen through other means of matter, but like the murdering of friends is kind of like what they're trying to say. So what do you think?
Yeah, I guess there's nothing in My Adventures with Superman quite that dark. But yeah, again, if you can't use that for the setting, then just don't use Jessica Cruz.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate, man, because like Jessica Cruz is like a really interesting character, but like you get like some inklings of like some of them talk about her anxiety, like I guess like Justice League versus the Fatal Five. For me, the best iteration of Jessica Cruz was like the Ruby movie, which is crazy. Somehow they got it right. But yeah, I mean, like in other iterations though, she's just kind of like the pseudo teen character. I don't know, it's like the Peter Parkerification of some of these characters, and it's kind of annoying, especially since when they have Joe, who's literally a teenage lantern they could do this with. It's just something that really bugs me, especially like when it comes to a character who's like psychosis and their mental disorder is like such a primary factor of their character. So much of the drama and like storytelling that comes out of their character is through that kind of mental illness or something that they're dealing with that's not like a simple thing that you could just let's like kind of talk about it in this project and then like let's ignore it. Like, no, you can't really do that, especially for a character like Jessica Cruz. So it's like at that point, use a different character. Like you can use Simon Baz. Kyle Rayner will never get anything at this point. God damn, it's like we've heard all these like the live action guys. We got Guy. They've talked about Alan before in the past. They've talked about Hal and John and all that stuff. Now they're talking about Jessica Cruz. Like, god damn, like Kyle Rayner's just they're acting like he doesn't exist.
His only legacy is getting his girlfriend stuffed in the fridge.
It's so crazy. It's also disappointing because like it's been a while since the Lancers have been like peak, like in the adaptation wise. I think the last time was probably the Green Lantern animated series, the 3D animated one.
Piece, yeah.
Yeah, so that's just my thoughts on that show. The second animated show is called DC Superpowers. It takes place at the Alliance School for Heroes and focuses on new students: Lightning, Flash, Plastic Man, Aquagirl, Green Lantern, and Terra, who level up their powers under the supervision of Principal Martian Manhunter in the hopes that one day graduating and becoming the Earth's next defenders.
I'm guessing that's gonna be like DC Superhero Girls.
Yeah, which I could be fine with that. I'm more critical on My Adventures with Green Lantern mainly because like at least Superman does like feel like it's trying to be Superman, even though it has a lot of changes of its own to be more anime-like. But yeah, and the third animated series that was announced was surprisingly Starfire. It serves as the origin story, which follows her adventures after she uses an ancient spaceship where she discovers on her home Tamaran to escape her planet and explore the stars. Along the way, she'll meet space biker Crush, plant-loving Fern, and the magical Princess Amethyst of Gemworld, and together they will uncover the deepest reaches of the DC universe. Huh. I didn't read that Amethyst, the character I said that Alana should have been.
Yeah. When it says it's about her origin, I don't know the tone of this series. How closely is it going to follow?
Yeah, some people look at the logo and they feel like it's akin to Harley Quinn, but I can't judge off of that.
Yeah, it's just a logo.
At least like the Green Lantern one, they actually did say it was like supposed to be connected to the Superman show. But as for Starfire, the discussion is just like, I want to watch it, but like I need to first see what her design is. I think that like for everybody, that's like the make or break of the show. Is like, how does Starfire look is the first thing, which I could see. That seems fair. But yeah, I don't really have any thoughts for it. The Titans in general is not my forte, but particularly Starfire. But now we can talk about some of the live action stuff, which Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, it is still currently filming. Gunn describes it as a beautiful, gritty sci-fi film and is already halfway through the production. He also said that Jason Momoa's Lobo is going to be filmed indoors, so don't expect a leak of his look anytime soon. So I read Woman of Tomorrow. I personally think it's a bit overrated. I think a lot of it is carried by the artwork. I don't know. I don't really think Supergirl was really much in character, and I think a lot of the passes she gets is because not many people know that much about Supergirl. But
yeah. It's on my list to read it before the movie comes out. I hear it's pretty.
It's very beloved, and I can understand why. It's just maybe it's just not for me. What do I know? I guess. But yeah, that's Supergirl. Clayface. So James Watkins is to direct with Mike Flanagan's script, so there was a few things mentioned. They were thinking about not doing Clayface at all, even with the script, because like it's kind of out there. But then they read the script and it's like it's just too good to ignore. So that's kind of why.
So
Clayface isn't widely known as Penguin or Joker, but we think his story is deeply resonant and thrilling and even more terrifying. Not too much to say on that. The Batman Part 2. So he says that Matt Reeves has yet to turn in the full script, but they have read parts of it and they really love what they read. I'm not really too worried because Robert Pattinson said he already has like an idea of what the story's about, and they're still slated to film on schedule for this year, so they'll be okay. So this is the big one.
Everything Batman related is okay.
Yeah. The Brave and the Bold. So some things were mentioned. Robert Pattinson will not be DCU's Caped Crusader.
I saw that coming, but
I saw it coming.
A lot of people upset.
I said it would be funny if like he was, but like he just plays Batman completely different in both iterations. He's a good enough actor to do that. So, it's like people complain about his like he's not too flamboyant, he's not too like his suit doesn't look too accurate, and then you just do that in the DCU. It's the same actor, but he just acts completely differently. That'd be really funny, but like they would never do that.
Why not? I'd be on board.
Yeah, so the movie remains in active development. Andy Muschietti will be the first one to see the script once it's completed, which will lead to the final decision on who directs the project, which that was the part I was confused on. So Andy Muschietti will still get to read the script, but they still haven't decided if he's going to be the one to direct the movie. So that's interesting. So they do have a writer, but Gunn does not want to put the name out because he doesn't want to put too much pressure on that person. And Gunn is also actively involved with the writer.
Intriguing.
So my only thought is like, so is he like a rookie or something? And that's why? Because like usually we kind of know these informations, and then some people think it's actually Gunn. It's just he doesn't want to admit it. So, I don't know. So Sergeant Rock, our fan favorite. Luca is still planned to direct the World War II script, with the script being written by the Challenges writer Justin Kurtzijk. The duo has said that they've never met with Daniel Craig. He was never planned to be attached, but apparently Luca did talk to Daniel on the side, but like it was never really like a real thing. So Daniel Craig is not really involved as a character. So this is what Safran said. What we love about Sergeant Rock is the opportunity to tell a story about heroism and conflict in compelling and unique ways. Justin really wrote a wonderful screenplay. That's what catapulted the project to the forefront. The movie will shoot for this summer if they can find the right actor. I mean, a lot of these are not really updates. They're just, we like the script after just reading them, yeah. Like, for example, next up, Swamp Thing. Safran said that Swamp Thing will move forward when James Mangold is ready. The ball is just in his court. So yeah, again, things that we already knew. Teen Titans, this is the first time they actually said for sure that like this is actually happening. Or at least Gunn actually says it himself. Gunn says that Anna, the writer for Supergirl, is also writing for Teen Titans. Titans. She's working on the script, something she was really impassioned about. She turned over an amazing script for us. She's fiddling around with that now. It's definitely not a finished script yet. For me, the Teen Titans all depends on what is the lineup, like who do they choose as the main team. Right, Bane and Deathstroke. So they actually never confirmed that the movie is called Bane and Deathstroke, but there is a script from Matthew Orton who's in charge of this movie. Matthew Orton is a writer for Moon Knight.
The show?
Moon Knight, the show, yeah.
Oh.
Our good buddy Moon Knight, one might say. The Authority. Gunn says that it's not the furthest along. It's a very big movie. If you're going to do it properly, some of the story elements perhaps that are in Superman and some of the other films we fast-tracked step a little on The Authority. Gunn further notes it's the one that got messed up through the most. When it comes to other things that were happening, the script had was a lot harder for it to come along. Now, I wanted to address this one too, because like The Authority, again, is a team that was from the Wildstorm universe, so it was not a part of DC Universe, DC Comics. It got brought in like in the later, like 2010s, I think, somewhere around that time. But the thing is, like, the Wildstorm characters they're not made for like the traditional superheroes to exist. So when you put the Authorities in a universe with Superman, they can't do what they used to do in Wildstorm because they were like the top dogs. They were like the ones that could be like authoritarian and take over the government and nobody could stop them. Even though they're doing it to do the right thing, like to stop crime and all that stuff, but still, like, Superman would not let them do that. He was in their universe. So I've always said that I think it's kind of dumb to put the Authority in. I know that Grant Morrison wrote, Superman and the Authority, but my big thing about that is like they had to change a lot to Midnight Man and Paulo's characters. So it's like if they're not really the same characters, then you're not really using the characters from the Authority. So I don't see what the point is. None of the marketing for
that's a running theme today.
We still have the show to talk about. Yeah, so that's I'm not really surprised that he said like, oh, we're focusing on all these other things that now it's starting to contradict the things that we were writing for the Authority, that we kind of had to redo it a little bit. I'm not surprised that this is happening because again, the Authority is not it's not a DC property, no matter how much they say it is. They have to do a lot of retooling, but at that point it's like, why not use the Elites? But they're not going to do that. And the Elites were parodies of the Authority. Almost done. Peacemaker season 2, it's planned to be released in 2025 of August, so expect that. Lanterns will plan to release in 2026. Gunn has saw some parts of the shootings and thinks it's really good so far.
Yeah, we said The Flash was good.
Yes, I'm not excited for anything Green Lantern related. Had a chance for the animated TV show and even that got squandered. So Paradise Lost, still in development hell. No writer announced. Not surprised.
Yeah.
Booster Gold.
The worst Wonder Woman related news today.
Yes. We're saving that for last. Booster Gold. This one they did try. There was a particular showrunner creator that we were waiting on who expressed interest before. We waited a really long time. Ultimately, he fell out of love. We pivoted. It's still the one that is most important to us. Well, not most, but like it is important to us. It is moving forward with somebody else. I mean, at least Kumail is not Booster Gold as of right now, so that's something. The Blue Beetle Animated Series, it's expected to be greenlit very soon. It does follow the events of the movie, something we knew before. This is important. Peter Safran and James Gunn have confirmed that they have a 6-year plan that would include an Avengers Endgame styled culmination. And this is where
6 years Endgame?
That's what I wanted to talk about. You want to do something like Endgame culmination, so like an Endgame-ish kind of a thing in 6 years. Isn't that what Snyder did, kind of, or he was trying to do?
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be like live action Tomorrowverse. 4 years, and they said let's do Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Why couldn't you just say an Avengers style culmination? You didn't have to say Endgame specifically.
No, yeah, Endgame specifically, yeah, makes me think like, yeah, they wanted like really, really big.
Yeah, a few other things too. James Gunn is working on his next movie script, and it's not a Superman sequel. Superman trailer is currently being edited. It's going to be released soon. And now we get to our video game discussions. James Gunn says that we're a couple years away from getting a DCU game. So he did talk about before that he planned to have like movies, TV shows, animated TV shows, live action TV shows, and video games be canon in the DCU. But we haven't heard of like what that is yet. But he still says like, it's within like about 2 years they'll figure that out. And he talks about what happened with NetherRealm, Rocksteady on possible developments of future games. And there's one company he did not mention, Monolith.
Yeah, what's going on with Monolith?
Today, we have received news that, if you guys don't know, Monolith is the company that was in charge of making the Wonder Woman game for the last, I don't know, like 5-6 years.
Like 4 years? I think.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years. And you see, the thing is they scrapped it.
Yeah, it's gone. But Wonder Woman cannot catch a fucking break, man.
Wonder Woman can't get a movie. She can't even get an an announcement. Oh, and like I saw this was another report that was in there. The Trinity is like a really big deal. They're gonna have a lot of focus. I read that entire article, not one mention of Wonder Woman. Like I did control F2, so I made sure that any mention of that character in there. No.
Unless he's talking about Paradise Lost relating to Wonder Woman.
No, because like Paradise Lost, it's a Hippolyta show. This is really bad. I'm sorry. I've seen people talk about it. Wonder Woman's not the only female character in DC Comics. Yeah, but she's still the face of DC women. Like, I'm sorry if that upsets you, but it's true.
No, he just said the Trinity. She's
the Trinity. She belongs there. That's her thing. It's so baffling how it is this difficult, because like Monolith has like the Nemesis system, and that was something that they wanted to implement into the Wonder Woman game, and a lot of the creators were pretty passionate about it and all that stuff. They have concept art. They had like things of what the story would be about, like, you know, her interactions with Cersei and all that stuff.
Oh, maybe they act from Creature Commandos.
Yeah, the one I never want to see again. Maybe they canceled it because it was giving Cersei too much love and it contradicts the character.
Yeah.
No, it's really crazy because like in 2023, I think Gunn talked about the importance of like the animated series for Wonder Woman and all that stuff. But it's not like he confirmed anything. He just like replied to, because this is like during his era. Like, I mean, he still kind of does it, but like in his era where he would constantly like reply to everybody. And then, you know, it's like somebody says, I would really like a Wonder Woman animated TV show. It's like, yeah, I agree. That's something we're gonna think about doing. But like people take it as fact, but like there's still no inkling of like telling us or like showing us that Wonder Woman is on the docket anywhere.
Yeah, no, he says again, then we're left like the Omni-Man meme. Where's Wonder Woman, James?
I've already lost like a lot of like faith in the sense of like Creature Commandos was that bad with Amazons, to the point where I don't think people realized like what was wrong. Like, you talked about a Paradise Island, sure, you made all these references, like things that I recognize and I clapped for, of course. It's an island full of beautiful women, strong women who are doing something there. They got a waterfall, but then they don't really have that much information. Their only source of information comes from Cersei, who they turned into an Amazon. Not just that, like, but she also is magic when typical Amazons aren't like that. So then when you have every other Amazon that's going to show up moving forward, you're going to ask, why doesn't she have the same powers as Cersei? Oh, well, Cersei's the special one. Oh, she's special, all right. And then not just that, but like what makes it worse for me is like, okay, so you turned her into an Amazon. So now my question is, why are there no Amazons going after Cersei, who's terrorizing man's world? Wouldn't they want to stop their fellow sister from being evil?
Maybe there's a new 52 Amazons.
The new 52 M's. I mean, they did use the Sons of Themyscira, kind of. It's terrible, because like, it's not just because Cersei lost to Weasel, because Weasel is too fast for her. Something Gunn said himself. She was surprised. He's not just the writer, he's the head of DC. That's what makes it worse. When you're saying something like that, you're pretty much like bastardizing 1/3 of your Trinity, right? Like there, and she's not even in the show. That's how bad it is. And like, that's how much like little faith I have with Wonder Woman, Themyscira, Amazons, and all that stuff. And it's just for this silly 2D cartoon show that not many people will watch. I mean, people watch it, sure, but like, they're gonna forget about it, and then they're gonna go get happy for Superman. Fair enough. I'm trying to look forward to Superman. There's still like a lot of things that I'm still concerned about. I guess the only other news report, I guess, that came out was like, oh, Superman's gonna have a lot of humor in it. Hopefully it's good humor. Yeah, Wonder Woman has... It can't be that hard to make a video game. Like,
apparently it is.
Like, even if you have to reuse assets and like make an Arkham style Wonder Woman game, it can't be that hard. I'm not asking Rocksteady to do it or anything like that, but like at this point, like Rocksteady is kind of like their only hope. They talked about NetherRealm, yeah. I don't know what they do.
They do Mortal Kombat and the Injustice games.
They said that Wonder Woman is gone. WB Games is only focusing on Harry Potter games, Game of Thrones games, other DC related games, and Mortal Kombat.
That's Batman.
Yeah. DC, which is just Batman.
Yeah.
They also canceled the Flash game earlier, and that was because people hated the movie, so that's why they think the game would not do well. They also canceled Constantine, which that one I'm not really interested in, but you know, I mean, it's not cool either. But the Flash one though, it's like, damn.